Hi, this is Brad from Pro Wrestling Junkies, and welcome to Toilet Side Wrestling Talk. Today's guest hails from the great state of Texas and began wrestling in 2017, trained by Lou Gotti Starrett and Lil Tony. She's worked for Shimmer, Boneyard Wrestling Alliance, DFW All Pro, Branded Outlaw Wrestling, River City Wrestling, to name a few. And along the way, she shared the ring with the likes of Livy Loca, Raquel Vaughn, Baby D, Faye Jackson, and just this past summer, I believe, she was ranked number 227 in the Black Wrestling's 500 list, which is pretty impressive. So please help me welcome my guest, the Mother of Light, someone who hasn't seen Bigfoot, but I'm sure she would say something if she ever did, Ms. Angelique Winter Poppaea. Hello, Angelique. How are you?
Hi, Brad. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for coming on.
Okay. Thank you. Also, just want to mention, you did say that I wrestled in Dallas, Texas. Yes, that's where I started my training, but I'm actually from a universe called Legendland. So
that's right. I don't know where my head was. I apologize for that.
Oh, it's totally fine.
Okay, so accolades, the Black Wrestling's 500 list. It's something you're proud of?
Oh, yes. It's definitely something that I am very much proud of, because I really feel like don't get me wrong, the PWI list is very legit, and everybody wants to be on that list, and the recent list that has came out, I think it was one where it had like both guys and girls ranking, and then they just recently came out with just like the women's.
Yeah.
So definitely seeing like people that I like, seeing Faye Jackson and seeing Willow, seeing like a lot of girls that I know personally that I looked up to before I started wrestling, was like it was nice to see them on that list. However, in Legendland, we don't have this thing called, race discrimination that you have going on this planet.
Yes.
So, sadly, I had to realize that, someone in my complexion, which I didn't know I had a complexion until I got here, and also, being, if my appearance is female.
Sure.
It's really, really, it's very, very hard to get noticed. Very hard because, as a Black talent, me, I had to work 2 times harder. But the fact that my appearance is female, I had to work 3 times harder. So I have to work 5 times. And I'm not saying that PWI has favoritism, but these are people, who has their name out there, and they're kind of, kicking ass. And like I said, I'm very, very happy for all my friends that had me on the list. But I'm not gonna lie, my 4-year anniversary since I started training just recently passed. It was September 22nd. And I'm not where my career, where I want to be and everything. And I don't feel like too many people know who I am. So the list, the Black Excellent list, had a list last year, and at that time I didn't make it. A lot of people that I trained with made it, and I was kind of sad, and I was like, darn it, because if you've been in the business for so long, and you definitely people need to know who you are. But I made it this year.
Yeah, were you surprised to see from like not being ranked to 227? Like, that's pretty impressive. Like, were you happy about that?
I'm just happy to be ranked, because it pretty much shows that whoever made this list, knows who I am, and as a goddess from a different universe.
Sure.
I'm trying to understand these emotions and everything, and me wanting to be the best that I can be, but I had roadblocks here and there. So, just making on a list is really, it's just really awesome. It makes me happy because it lets me know. And then, when you're sharing that list is being shared on like Facebook and
Mm-hmm.
Twitter and Instagram, it's really amazing. The funny thing is, when I heard about the list, shout out to Reggie Leakin, by the way, that told me that I was on the list. When I heard about the list, I wasn't really like expecting to be on there
Uh-huh.
because with the time frame, because PWI does the whole time frame thing,
Sure.
and I didn't really do much last year besides working for Shimmer for like
Mm-hmm.
a battle royal. But find out that I made on the list, yes, it definitely meant a lot.
Yeah,
So
you did
I'm
something
sorry
right.
for talking too much.
No, don't. Oh my gosh, go right ahead. Okay, this might be an odd question.
Okay.
Do you have children? No, that's
To be
not the weird
honest,
part.
it's not a question.
Can I? I'll give you a hypothetical then.
I don't. Okay, let since I'm a different creature from a different
Yes.
universe. At the moment, I am my I am my soul is within a human body.
Mm-hmm.
So I can pretty much adapt like my fellow mortals while still having possible magic. Who knows?
Sure.
But if I do find a mate,
Mm-hmm.
and I choose not to go back to Legend Land,
Mm-hmm.
after I become a legend of
Of
professional
course.
wrestling, it will be very possible that I could have children if this body is healthy enough to have
Yeah,
kids.
for sure.
But at the moment, no, the goddess does not have any half mortal /
Okay.
immortal babies.
So if you did have children and they didn't come out with the beautiful blue hair and they came out with green or purple hair, would you be disappointed?
Honestly, no. The only way that I would be very disappointed if I choose to have an offspring, um, I will love them as long as they are loving and not hateful to other people. I am willing to accept my offspring, um, for whatever it is, whatever how it comes out, as long as it's not, a terrible human being
Sure,
and stuff
sure.
like that. So if I have an offspring that has my blue hair, that's fine. But if I have an offspring that only adapts to, it's
Green
my
hair, purple.
partner,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
purple, black, blonde, I'm going to love them,
good.
with
The good answer.
all my heart. So yeah,
Uh, so when did you become the mother of light?
I just became.
No, you just, there wasn't just like, oh, hey, I'm mother of light now. You just existed.
Um. Well. How can I explain? Because it's been very difficult because I know it blows mortals'
Oh,
mind.
sure.
Like there are certain professional wrestlers who do have this thing called gimmicks.
Mm-hmm.
For an example, Undertaker.
There you
He
go.
has the dead man gimmick, and turns out he's a family dude. But me personally, the whole Mother Light, that I call myself that is because I control the lights
Mm-hmm.
at Legendland. At Legendland, there's lots of creatures. There's goddesses, trolls. Like it's a really big universe. But within me, I am filled with love and compassion, and that's pretty much who I am. And like embracing who I am within me has been very difficult while on Earth because there's certain people that wants me to be a certain way, and I can't, and it's something I learned to embrace, and sadly, you humans have like a difficulty of embracing, your lights within, because, the media, and you should be this way, you should be that way. So I decided that the mother lights was fit because, I am filled with love like a mother, and, I can join, I can bring the light within
Perfect. That's
you.
what I wanted
And,
to.
it could be pleasure or pain. Oh, sorry?
No, I was saying that's exactly what I wanted to hear.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Like that made perfect sense to me.
Okay.
Okay, another kind of random. Is wrestling a good outlet, like for somebody who needs to get rid of like aggression? Is wrestling a good outlet for that, or because I know it's an art, but is that one of the?
It's a very, very beautiful art. It is a place for you to let out your aggression, and that's something that has taken me a while for starting my career. To learn, I think, aggression. Shout out to my trainer, Mr. Lou Gotti, because he. But yes, I'm definitely working on it. But yes, you can let your aggression out, but at the same time, you have to be very, very safe with your opponent. So yes.
Like someone who wanted to train and become a pro wrestler, one of the reasons is I have a lot of aggression I get out. That's not the way to to start wrestling, right? Like as your main thing is because you want to get out aggression.
Are you saying like just giving out like their whole purpose is just to
yes, like based on their
to?
like based on their childhood or stuff, and they have all this aggression. I'm gonna become a wrestler and beat up on people.
Okay, just to beat up on people? No. However, you can use your past, to help build you up, and stuff like that. And being aggressive is fine, but you have to understand there's a person the opposite side of you, and they're not the reason for your, like, if I had, like, let's say if I happen to have a bad day, I might use that opportunity to let some aggression out, but not completely injure my opponent. Like, I want to win, but, I'm not.
You want both people to be able to walk out, after the match.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you had some interaction with Molly Holly?
Yes.
What advice did you get from her that you use now?
One advice that, well, there was a lot of advice, but one main advice that she definitely gave me that I think it sticks. And it's not just wrestling, it's mostly about life. Because every seminar is very, very different, and you can learn something like so much more, not just wrestling itself, but life. But one thing that she definitely did show was she had like a book full of like memories of like people that she worked with, and just pretty much her career from like when she started training to like pretty much now. And then one thing that she very much mentioned was the fact that, a lot of people that were in her book were no longer here with us. And the sad thing about that was because, I'm staying in Dallas, doing the whole, human thing. But it was all the way in San Antonio. And like on my way back to Dallas, I found out that there was a boy that trained at DFW. His name was Sterling. He passed away the day before, the night before. And the sad part is that it was just it was a DFW. It was the night of the DFW show, and I had to leave early because I had to go to the seminar all the way in San Antonio, and like that was like the last time I saw him. And then I take a break from driving, learning how to drive, and I kind of found out that he passed. it kind of hurt because, I do remember him in training and, his personality. So that was one thing that definitely stuck up, was that, embrace the moments, embrace the memories, and embrace, people around you, especially with this pandemic that is going on. You have to love and embrace the moment. Is one thing that definitely very much stuck out to me.
Yeah, and that's something that just like applies to every single person in life. That's so. Do you remember like the minute you decided, all right, I'm gonna go into pro wrestling? Like the second you made the decision.
Okay. I kind of have a little story, but I'll make it short as possible.
Tell as long as you want. I don't care.
Okay, so I decided to experience Earth and and kind of browse around and see what you humans do.
Sure.
And then my I didn't know. Well, my soon-to-be trainer had VIP wrestling, and it was VIP X. And I heard like a lot of reckless going on and everything. So I went to the show, and I really, really enjoyed it. It was something very, very different, and was very hard for me to really understand. But it was awesome. And I
had you seen it before?
Wrestling. Well, we can see certain things.
Sure.
In Legend that happens on the planet. So I have seen it.
You were aware of it
in a certain way. So I've been very aware, but seeing it live, and it was like an extreme show. Pretty much VIPX, a lot of blood and cussing words and stuff, like lots of naughty stuff. But Shane Taylor was there. New Jack was there. Keith Lee. That's where I discovered both Keith Lee and Shane Taylor, and it was an amazing show. So I'm very aware that I come off as a weirdo. So I found the nearest person that I could find that seemed kind of nice and very unique. So Ty Wilson. I went to him, and he pretty much gave me the information.
Okay. And at this show.
That's how it started. Huh?
At that show you went to. Went. Wow. Okay. So do you remember your first day of training?
Well, you do have those. It doesn't do it much anymore. But there used to be these the tryouts are just once a day now. Okay. But they used to be 4 weeks.
So you'd have to try out to yeah. And did you have to pay as well?
I'm sorry?
Did you have to pay as well?
You have to pay like just a certain fees.
Okay.
A lot of schools,
sure.
A lot of schools do that. It was a 4 week, and I was able to go to 2. My first day, me personally, I'm not the kind of, moral, immoral. I'm not the kind of person that's afraid to say, because this is a new experience for me, that this is scary. Hearing the sound of someone taking a bump is still to this day, if I can't see it, I imagine that certain person doing something very crazy and all they're doing is just regularly taking a bump. So I pretty much just made it clear that I'm just here to give this a try, and that's it. Like I do feel like, unlike some people, and a lot of people tend to do this, because I don't have an athletic background. I'm a goddess from Legendland.
Yeah.
So I had nothing to front, where you have football players, people who do have like a huge athletic background, like, ooh, I'm gonna do this. And I can remember like my trainer was very much he was very understanding because I was kind of afraid to learn how to take a bump. But he was really hard on me, I guess. And like, and maybe it can be because, my parents is female.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know why, but it tends to be this thing that when you're a girl, like you have like a lot to prove. Like, oh, you're a female trying to be a wrestler. Okay, well, let me try to kill you to like see if you can survive.
Yeah.
And I gassed out, but I made it clear I don't have a background. I don't have an athletic background. It is what it is. And like my trainer said, you can do the tryout, and then you can decide if you want to come back. Okay. And I came back. So, I mean, I didn't go in there to really, really prove anything to anybody but myself.
Okay.
So, yeah.
How long between your first day of training and your first match?
Okay. All right. So, between the tryout, which was about 4 weeks. There was possibly like 3 months in between before I officially started training.
Okay.
I didn't even train that night. I pretty much just signed up, but I still make it count. Because I had to, deal with some things in Legendland before I made the decision for right now to adapt to your human ways, and stuff like that. So by September 22nd, 2016 is where I started my training, and my first match was April 22nd, 2017.
Oh.
So I guess not that long ago.
Were you happy with your performance at your first match? Like, have you seen it since?
It was a really rough day. My gear wasn't. I spent so much money on that gear.
Yeah, I was gonna say you have really unique gear.
Oh, thank you so much. But my very first gear, I had really high hopes, and at that time, I had to deal with it. Like, I legit was wrestling with safety pins on my top because it was falling off, and ended up falling off anyway. So my bra was kind of exposed. Just for my performance, the only thing I could definitely say that it was a little. I'm not saying that I was like the best. Definitely shout out to Dangerous Kira because she was my first opponent, and me and her, we pretty much were, we were pretty much green. And sometimes when you're, because when I first started training at DFW, I was the only female, and then we just started getting girls. So sometimes it's really rough when you're a girl, because guys, they have the trainer. They either have their trainer or they're gonna get someone with experience,
sure,
so they can learn. But like me and Dangerous Kira were we both pretty much started at the same time. She started like around in like November, and it was scary, but I definitely feel like the crowd was into it. Do I think I personally could have did better? Of course, but mind you, my top is coming off.
Were you? Was it hard to think about anything else? While you're wrestling, and also worrying about having a wardrobe malfunction?
I mean, you just kind of have to really deal with it. I mean, I knew something was going to happen, because I really didn't have a choice. I guess the gear was brought to me, and I was like, "Oh my lord, this is not what I paid for." But you have to deal with certain things, and certain situations. You just kind of have to just deal with it. Like, oh well.
Just adapt. So after your first match, do you go out to celebrate afterwards? Not celebrate like a party, but oh, that was great. I had my first wrestling.
I actually I'm not sure if this is 100%,
Uh-huh.
but I do know we went to go get tacos.
Oh, nice.
Yes, we went to a taco place and they had tacos. Yes, I think that was it was either that or because like technically that was my first match, but
Uh-huh.
like a month before I made an appearance and then Dangerous Kira attacked me from behind, and then that's how
Okay.
we had
That's
our
how it's
match.
set up.
But I think I went and got tacos.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
nice.
we went
At
and got
least,
tacos.
at least there's some tribute, for the
Yeah.
occasion. Do you to your opponents? Are you friendly with your most of your opponents? As in, like, is it fun to wrestle your friends?
Um, Honestly, yes. It's very much fun to wrestle your friends because pretty much at that time those become love taps. So you're pretty much bringing the best out of each other, and
Mm-hmm.
plus you know that you're safe.
Oh
So
yeah.
there's very much of communication. Yeah.
So 2020, what has been your like work schedule? I mean, is it completely different from like the last 2 years? Obviously, as far as being able to perform.
Are you
Like if
okay?
there
I'm sorry, what do
wasn't
you mean?
if there wasn't the coronavirus, going on in 2020, would have you worked more shows?
Actually, I worked more shows this year than I done in my previous
Really?
years. I actually before my last match was February 28th actually
Okay.
at DFW All Pro Women's. DFW has like the main show and then like the women's show.
Yeah.
Um and yeah, I wrestled 9 matches, and those previous years has me getting booked was very difficult.
Yeah.
But honestly, this year, and I guess that's why I'm not as I'm very disappointed because I had prior bookings.
Yeah.
But that's when I started to grow. That's when I started to get used in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
And I was really that's when I started to be comfortable. Like, I'm sorry, I have to do a shout out. Definitely
Okay.
shout out to CT Jones, like my brother, freaking love that guy, and also Baby D, because they were pretty much the main two that they saw how hard it really was. It was for me to like get bookings and stuff like that, and those two definitely put me under their wings, and that's how this year was pretty much perfect. And it would have been more perfect if this coronavirus didn't happen. But
if no one died, it'd be awesome.
yeah. At the moment, I'm not taking bookings.
Mm-hmm.
I'm currently staying. I'm in Texas, and I'm currently staying with humans. So I'm not sure. Well, I'm currently in a human body, so of course I can. I mean, regardless if people think it's a hex or not, I have to be considerate for other people and people that I'm staying with, So at the moment, I am not taking bookings for the rest of the year. So hopefully things happen this year.
Assuming a vaccine or something is developed by the end of the year or the next year, will you then start taking bookings again when it's getting safer?
I will take bookings, and I actually had a plan to try to, go to different states like Georgia and other places, because one of my goals is definitely wrestle outside of Texas, see what else is out there.
What about, have you considered Mexico?
Or
you want to do stuff here first?
I really do want to try in Mexico. I really do. I just have to find someone that wants to help me with that.
That would be big.
So, yeah.
All right, Angelique, I'm going to let you go shortly, but would you mind if I ask you 5 random yes or no questions?
Of course. course.
Okay, and you do. I know that you're not from here, so just do your best. If you have any questions, you can just say yes, no, and if you want to elaborate, you can.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Have you ever walked on a trail of Legos barefoot?
No, but I definitely stepped on a Lego before.
Okay. For $22,500, would you legally marry a dolphin for 3 years and then you guys can get divorced? You don't have to. All you have to do is you don't have to do anything with it. Just, maybe once a day, kind of pet it in like the bathtub or something. In 3 years, and you'll have $22,500, and I'll provide you with all the fish you need for your husband or wife.
I'll partner.
Okay, yeah.
But what's going on? No?
Oh, there we go.
Oh, there we go. I do like dolphins. I do like animals. But sure, if I don't have to do any weird stuff, totally.
Oh, no. You just give them a couple give them a fish in the morning, one at lunch and one at dinner. And occasionally, like if you come home from the day, just pet him a little bit on his top fin, and that's it.
Yeah, sure.
And then you make $22,500. It may smell like fish where you live, but that would go away, I imagine.
Hey, money is money.
Okay. Do you think that in addition to a newborn baby being issued a birth certificate, they should also be issued an Earth certificate for other people or one day aliens to know that they're from Earth?
Maybe, because yes, I maybe. I mean, that would be a good option, because even though I am in this human body,
Sure.
This is how I actually look
Uh-huh.
at Legendland. So yeah, maybe so, because there are other universes out there, and they might look like all of you.
Yeah.
Their blood might be different colors. You never know. That's a lot going on.
Do humans disgust you? That's not one of my yes or no questions.
Do humans disgust me? They can.
Okay.
But, I feel the need to kind of mention this with the coronavirus, and I'm sure you hear about the whole speaking out and stuff like that. Yes, it has definitely, just wrestling itself. Yes, it has definitely changed my attitude just a little bit.
Yeah. All right, final question. Have you ever cried in a movie that The Rock starred in?
No.
Okay, there you go. I'm good. I appreciate the honesty. So thank you so much for taking the time talking to me. I really appreciate it. It was great having you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Is there anything I know you don't make bookings between now and the end of the year, but anything you want to put out there?
I guess follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Twitter, Instagram, Goddess AW Poppaea, and Facebook, just look for my whole name.
All right, that works for me. All right, definitely want to have you on again to talk a little more. And you stay healthy, and I can't wait to see you in the ring, hopefully in 2021.
Okay, and I wish the same for you.
All right, take care. Bye.